Congratulations go out. I should at least mention it to Braves fans whose pitchers dominate in the series. They had a 1.54 ERA in the series. That will win you a lot of series. Well, 1.54 for that ass. That was the best in the postseason for any team.
Yeah, I got to tell you that in watching I remember this because it was during the time that I was walking this fine land between FM frequencies and obviously the day job at Warchant.com. But the Braves were kind of panned for what they did at the trading deadline because other teams in the NL East kind of went for it, and other teams in the National League in general, like San Diego, like these teams are going for it. And the Braves, I remember the article saying these are less than stellar moves. And why would you do that anyway if Ronald Acuna is hurt? They only went 40-20 after that and are playing brilliant baseball. I've always said that I have a soft spot for Anthopoulos because I got to meet him when we were previously
he was really open with you.
An affiliate. I asked him questions that were really interesting, at least to me, and hard-hitting baseball questions, and he gave me like 5-minute answers. So for that, I've always been grateful. The dude's a smart guy, and good for them. That's a well-run organization. It has been since the beginning of time, it feels like. Good for them.
Yeah, I know, by the way, that 1.54 ERA, best in the majors in the postseason. 4 of the 6 runs they allowed were charged to Charlie Morton, who's usually dominant. And he started games 1 and 4, allowed 2 runs in each. Braves pitchers had 48 strikeouts, 9 walks in the series. Well done. That'll get it done. Their 3 starters, top 4 relievers, were all dominant, aggressive in the strike zone. Look, at the end of the day, you had an exceptional bullpen as well, and it was maligned for a lot of the season, as you're pointing to. They allowed 2 runs in the series total. That bullpen did. That will get some things done. Braves fans going to be happy. Tom, how do you know? Maybe you don't know. How many undefeated teams remain in college football?
4.
13.
Oh, well, we're doing beyond like the top 25 thing? Or?
Yeah. I mean, there are 13 undefeated teams in college football. You can't name them all, I don't think. Maybe you could.
All 13 of them? I'm sure I couldn't, but I could give you, the teams that are in the top.
I know one.
Georgia, Iowa, Oklahoma, Cincinnati.
Yep, got them. SMU is undefeated, Tom.
Oh, good for them.
Lest you forget about our own Wake Forest.
Sorry about that.
Yep, Wake's undefeated. OU's undefeated. Oklahoma State's undefeated, by the way, very quietly. I'm a man, I'm 40. Mike Gundy's got his team undefeated. They play Texas this weekend in Austin. I previewed that game for the College Sports Book. If you're a fan of the College Sports Book, make sure you check out that preview. It'll be up today. Talked with Jeff Johnson of O State Illustrated and Anwar Richardson from Orange Bloods. Good preview for that game. Also had an opportunity to take a look and kind of get closer to that Kentucky-Georgia game, which I'm excited about. By the way, Kentucky's undefeated, Tom. Georgia's undefeated as well,
Now, I failed Mark Stoops. The Wake Forest thing, I don't apologize for. But to old Mark, sorry about that, Marky Mark.
Here you go. Well, by the way, our Gilmore wants to know, do I think Iowa is for real? Defensively, they've gone 28 games in a row or something absurd like that without giving up 24 points or more. Defensively, they will hold you down, and they're patient. They're very patient. I think they're average at quarterback. They don't run the ball as well as they should. They're very, very good on defense. I know that turnover is a stat that typically you would say is kind of born out of luck. I don't think it is with Iowa. They swarm to the football. They create turnovers every single week. It's just a part of the recipe. After a while, I stopped chalking it up to luck. I mean, if you have 4 picks a game, I mean, you're doing something right in that secondary. You know
All right, so here's what's going to happen in the playoff. The 2-seed Iowa against the 3-seed Cincinnati. It's going to be the race to 10.
Yeah, well, they won't get to the playoff because they're going to lose to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. But that said, they can get to the Big Ten championship.
Why don't they get the free pass? The SEC would get the free pass the at-large spot.
I know. Well, and I also think that was a tough injury for Penn State at quarterback. That killed them in that game. And I don't at the time that they lost him, Sean, what's his face? They were up by 7. I don't know. We'll never know. We'll never know. It's not really fair to Iowa, but that was a tough break because the kid that came in couldn't play. He was not ready for prime time. They did get lucky against Penn State there. All right, so the other teams that are undefeated as we go into the bye week and we sit back and we watch everybody else, it's a good time to take inventory of the landscape. Cincinnati, SMU, Wake Forest, Oklahoma State, again playing Texas this week. Oklahoma State, by the way, top 20 defense in almost every category. Oklahoma State, Bet you didn't know that.
What's their schedule so far?
No, they can't score to save their life, but they stop everybody from scoring. It's amazing. I'll give you some numbers on that in a little bit too. Michigan is undefeated, Tom. Well, Harbaugh's got them undefeated.
Harbaugh for that ass.
Harbaugh for that. Michigan State is undefeated, lest we forget, by the way, and that's one of the great stories of the year.
Clearly, I don't. Okay. Yeah. Clearly, I'm discounting teams in my mind. That's what I'm doing preemptively. That's unfair.
It's especially unfair with Michigan State because that is a great story and a lot of fun. And
they beat the tar out of Miami, which we appreciate them for.
Hold them on high for that. Marcus, thanks for the contribution. Happy Wednesday. That's Balls McWednesday, Marcus. He says that to you and me. This is a preemptive delivery of money for your Bucks victory Thursday night. Enjoy the postgame brews, but go Eagles nonetheless. Appreciate you, Marcus. Yeah, appreciate you, buddy. I think the internet's working again. I think we're good. People are making their way.
People are responding.
Yeah, they are. We've got, I mentioned Iowa. You know who else is undefeated? UTSA. UTSA is undefeated. San Diego State is undefeated. Did not know that. Got me on that one. Wouldn't have been able to give you that. I mentioned Kentucky and Georgia. And finally, I'll ask the other undefeated team is, got a guess? Final one?
Oh, I don't know. Bowling Green.
No, they're not. That is a guess indeed.
North Texas.
Coastal Carolina, man. Come on. We talk about Coastal Carolina. Get your head on, Tommy. Come on. Get locked in here. Let's go.
Because you're doing the wide view of the world
College
now
sportsbook,
thing,
I do, yeah.
And I keep my focus primarily on Florida State.
Oh, am I a dereliction of duty because I know who the undefeated teams are?
No, because you've been so directed to do these things. So, in fact, you're performing exactly what you're supposed to perform. I'm just saying, my mandate is more narrow than your mandate. So I'm glad you're here to help us with these things.
I am here to help you with these things. I'm also here to tell you that on Saturday night late, think about your boy, Uncle Jeff. All right, everybody? Think about me because this is the game. My boys from Utah got off to a rocky start this year, but they came into the month of October and they began to club people. And that includes a thorough ass beating of USC last week, 42-26. And that was big because now that sets up 10 o'clock, late night, you'll be up. You got no post game to worry about. You can let loose. You can have a good time. Whatever floats your boat for Saturday, just make sure you're awake at 10:15.
Let's do a watch along on Warchant TV.
I don't know about all that. We don't do all. Arizona State, Utah. It's time to get it on, baby, because my plus number is here. It is. This is it. It's Arizona State, Utah, Saturday night. That's the game. Utah wins that game. You can start counting the dollars.
Okay.
We can start.
All right. I played it too, so it's important to me as well.
That's right. Yeah.
They turned the page on the calendar when it was September 30th into October 1st. Yeah. From September to Locktober. You welcome Locktober. Lock it and load it.
Yeah, it's good. That's fun. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that game. It should be a good game. You know what else should be a fun game? Again, big picture here, middle of the week stuff that we do when Florida State's not playing. I'll get to Florida State news momentarily. There's not a lot coming out this week, but what is coming out this week has been largely positive, so I'll touch on some of that. But out of curiosity, I jotted the note down here, Tom. I was doing all my notes. What do you think? Because I know you haven't looked at this number just yet. You're not as big a degenerate as I am. Ole Miss, Tennessee, what do you think the total is?
Oh, my.
Yeah, right?
83.5.
Good guess, Tom. It's 81.5.
Hey, all right. There we go.
So you're going with the over.
So I'm betting the over.
Yeah, you're betting with the over.
I'm a good blind handicapper, though. I'm good at that game, typically.
Gabriel wants to know, and he contributed money for the cause. Who do you guys legitimately have in the North Carolina-Miami game? North Carolina. But, yeah, I'm not betting it, Gabriel. I'm not betting the game. I wouldn't touch these two teams with a 10-foot pole. There's injury concern and disinterest, and that's a bad marriage. It's tough to really come down on a side if you don't know who's playing, and the ones who are playing, you question whether or not they want to be there.
Well, the thing is, the Van Dyke kid has a good arm.
Yeah.
And North Carolina, they'll have some coverage busts. There might not be a whole lot of effort. The kid that interests me in that matchup more than anything, and I'll have to look up his name, it's not Josh Downs for North Carolina, but they've got that one running back who was their backup to start the game who runs hard.
Yeah.
That is the player that you want against Miami, who doesn't care to stop the run and doesn't give you effort to stop the run. So I'd ride that type of player into all the play action looks that you need with Josh Downs over the top, because that kid's for real. You know what that kid's about. But what does Miami do when they pack it in? They don't care to stop the run, so I'm looking for the bruiser. That would be the difference maker. So I'd pick you, North Carolina.
Circling back to 81.5, Ole Miss and Tennessee. Tennessee put up 107 points over the last 2 weeks. That's kind of fun. They beat up on teams that are middling or poor. Heupel having great success year one, scoring points at a rapid. Did you watch any of their game each of these last 2 weeks? Obviously, they just boat raced South Carolina, but the Missouri game, did you watch any of that? They scored 28 points before you could blink.
I did watch it because I know that a mutual friend of ours, who I won't mention, said that was maybe a lock pick for Mizzou. So yeah. I did pay attention.
Yeah. Lost that one. Mizzou, Mizzou has not stopped anybody from scoring. I've got some other numbers on that. But I will tell you this. They ran for, Tennessee did, 247 yards and 3 touchdowns in those 45 points they scored against South Carolina. Why do I bring that up? Well, Ole Miss gave up 350 rushing yards to Arkansas the week before.
Okay.
So this game, that total, 81.5, feels a lot like take the over.
God.
In that, but listen, Tennessee doesn't get stops either. So, woo!
But you know what's absurd about that? If you give up, what was it, 350
yards rushing,
you would think that you can't get to the 50s unless you go to overtime, right? Because you would think
long runs, Tom, big quick. I mean,
right.
like 60, 70-yard runs.
That's what that means, is that YPC is like 12 or 15 yards pop. That's the only way that you can run for that many yards and have both teams score in the 50s. That's an absurd over to get hit.
Yeah, it is. It's listen, there are different ways of viewing high-scoring games. If you watched Oklahoma and Texas, you had fun. It was a fun game. It was thoroughly enjoyable. If you watched Ole Miss and Arkansas, you did not have fun, in my opinion, because I think defense matters, and there has to be a threat of a stop, and nobody was threatening to stop anybody in that football game.
Yeah, it's an argument that I have with some of my hockey friends, and some of them are longing for the 80s where the scores were 8-5.
No.
And they're like, we need more goals. I'm like, well,
hey, they got plenty of them last night because the Lightning didn't bother to show up.
Well, 3 empty netters, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
That, in truth, yes, they didn't show up,
No,
period, for that game.
No.
But, there's a happy medium between 2-1 and 8-5. Because at 8-5, a goal's not special anymore. If you watch the Arkansas Ole Miss game last week, a touchdown's not special.
No,
there's not. You're like, oh, that's just another touchdown. Good, give us the ball back. You care more about getting the ball back than you do whether or not you give up 3, 7, or 0.
It's like basketball teams that play defense by just taking the ball out of the net. It's like that. You're not even doing anything, man. Let's go. Or actually, their transition begins when they take the ball out of the net because they're not going to get a stop. I can't stand watching teams like that. It really is troubling because that's a big part of the game. I will say this last weekend was arguably. And Stuart Mandel wrote about this, so I got to give credit where credit's due. He has a buddy, I don't remember who he said, but he has a buddy that charts the most entertaining weekends in college football over the last 25 years. And the way he does it is number of top 10 matchups, top 20 matchups, number of games that were decided by less than a touchdown, number like that kind of a thing, right? And it's a formula. And he said basically last Saturday, because you could believe your eyes. We talked about this. That last Saturday finished top 3 in the last 25 years for most entertaining and competitive, interesting college football Saturdays. Over the last 2.5 decades. Think about that. And it did feel that way. I don't think I went more than 5 minutes from flipping from game to game without seeing something that went, holy hell, look at this. There was something happening every time you looked up.
Yeah, I could see it from afar because I watched Red River until it was time to do prep for the FSU game at 3:30. There's some things that go into that around the third quarter. Yeah, that game took forever, as you might imagine with all the scores that happened. But the night slate, it certainly felt that way. Now we didn't have a pregame show or a postgame show.
The noon slate was unreal.
So you got to see it all the way through. So you're the better gauge than me.
I watched. I'm not kidding. I could not believe what I was seeing. And then in the night slate, I said, "Listen, there was the handoff from the noon games to the 3:30 games." What's his face who texted me after I made fun of his hair from ESPN?
Oh, Matt Berry.
Yeah, Matt Berry. Matt Berry said something as they were going to the floor.
Hello, I'm Matt Berry.
They said.
That's my Matt Berry impression.
Good to hear you,
I think
Matt.
it's pretty good.
Good to see you, Matt. Anyhow,
that's a 35-yard completion.
So Matt Berry said as he handed over the end of the Ole Miss Arkansas game to the Florida State North Carolina game, as he went from that game to the broadcasters of the next game, hey, 3:30, you're up. Let's see what you can do. Because he was talking about the end of all the noon games, which were insane, right? And for the most part, 3:30 didn't quite live up, but the night games did. Some of the 3:30s did, but I mean, like I said, I had a suspicion Nebraska, Michigan would be great. And it was, and it just kept on keeping on all through the night. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, Nebraska, Michigan, and A&M, Alabama were the two games I had on after the postgame show, and they were wonderful.
Yeah. Michael, I think it's funny, too, and I don't even think they would mind me saying it. He writes, I have to laugh that Comcast is a sponsor of the JCS, and Jeff and Tom have been trying to make them add or publicly shaming them for numerous years for not adding the ACC network. Hey, Comcast loves Tom and myself so much, they don't mind if we publicly shame them. And I'm going to just tell you, my friends at Comcast, since you're listening, since you love us and you're on board with us and we love you too, let's get with the getting and get the ACC network. Come on, let's go. I'll continue. We're not going to be frauds, Michael. I'll continue to publicly shame them while I take their money.
Yeah. Well, I have no idea what you're speaking of, sir. All I know is that the gig speed internets that I have allow me to connect to the ACC network through maybe somebody else's login.
Yeah.
In such a way that it always comes through crystal clear. Let me tell you about it. Okay. Amazing.
Yeah, really fast. Gig speed.
That's what we need. We need the gig speed internet.
Yeah, that's true. Carol says she's rooting for Georgia because she's tired of Alabama. Well, get in line. That's everybody tired of Alabama. And I'm rooting for Georgia for a very different reason, a much more selfish reason, and that reason reads plus 800 in the preseason to win the national championship. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV, and we'll continue in a moment.
Real Talk 93.3 wants you to win $1,000. Why? Because money talks.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Your next chance to win is coming up during the Jeff Cameron Show at 2 p.m. Listen out for the keyword, then click on the Real Talk Money megaphone at realtalk93.com. Money talks. Everything else can take a walk.
Money, I just can't get enough. The 8th annual Taptoberfest at the Brass Tap in Midtown is back. It's all happening this weekend starting Friday through Sunday with no cover charge and no entry fees. Bust out your lederhosen and enjoy a hand-picked selection of local and craft German beers. Plus, your favorite beer-soaking snacks like brats with sauerkraut and stuffed pretzels with beer cheese dip. Don't miss the 8th annual Taptoberfest at the Brass Tap in Midtown starting this Friday. Find out more on the Brass Tap Midtown Facebook page.
Siri, tell me a joke. The past, present, and future walk into a bar. It was tense.
All jokes aside, the trained professionals at Mac & More Systems are serious about Apple products. For all your Mac repairs, call Mac & More Systems at 894-3622. 894-3622.
While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family. Wooden Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Wooden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Wooden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Wooden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at woodenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
Did you know that in a single year, more than $1 trillion of Social Security benefits were paid out? If you're nearing retirement age and have questions about your Social Security, I can help. This is Craig Collins with Collins Income Tax Solutions. If you've been concerned about your Social Security benefits, give me a call for a free consultation to learn how we can help maximize your Social Security benefits. I'm online at collinsincomeTaxSolutionsLLC.com or give me a call directly at 850-391-7659.
At Epps Decorating Center, we're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore, available at Epps Decorating Center with 2 locations in Tallahassee. Find a store near you and visit EppsDecorating.com. That's EppsDecorating.com.
The weather is unpredictable and can cause issues around your home. Weston Trawick provides commercial, residential, and industrial electrical wiring. Weston Trawick. Professional electrical services day or night. Visit online at westontrawick.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Georgia hasn't played a game as the #1 team in college football since 1982.
Wow. That's amazing.
It was the Sugar Bowl that year. The last time Kentucky started 6-0, Bear Bryant was the coach at Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
1957.
And Kentucky went on to win the Sugar Bowl. So there you go. That's what you got. Fun with stats.
My brother-in-law was born, I think, in 1974, 1975, something like that. So he remembers that one Georgia team barely.
The 82 team.
He remembers it.
I remember the 82 team well because I was 10. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's true. I can remember.
Might be 11.
Yeah. Just was soon to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, I remember. I could tell your brother-in-law a few things about that 82 Georgia team. No, man, that's this has been the kind of chaos that I can get down with in college football. Now you just need Georgia to lose. I don't.
No, wait, I was saying,
I don't, but hold on.
Easy.
Work with me here. Let's have a free-for-all. Let's just see what happens. Let's everybody get down with 2 losses.
No. Here's why. You want the SEC championship game to be a free pass for Georgia. Once they get by the Yellow Jackets in week 12, they're good.
I do monetarily want Georgia to have a free pass to the college football playoff, but I also continually root for more people to have a play late in the year than what we typically see. This has been a foregone conclusion for many a season, and that's troubling. I'd like to see a whole bunch of people out there with a shot, a realistic shot, and a whole lot of questions being asked about all those in the mix. By the way, go pull up. Do this for me, Tom, if the internet's working in there where you are. Let me look at this. Maybe I'll try to do it in here. We'll see. I know that's great radio, everybody, but just bear with me.
Just tell me what you want me to look up.
I could. I'm looking Clemson's.
That's fine. I'll do something else.
No, I want you to look up Clemson's schedule week to week. Pull up the results of Clemson's schedule for me. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Because there are some staggeringly bad numbers for Clemson if you remove one contest against a lowlife. And I don't mean lowlife as in character, but a team that really has very little chance to win football games when stepping up. And I was stunned to realize that they're basically averaging something like 14 points a game if you remove that game.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Give me the games.
Yeah, so
they scored 3 against Georgia.
There you go. 49 against South Carolina State.
Okay,
so
remove
that game.
Out. Toss that out. Now give me every other game.
14-8 over Georgia Tech. Oh my God.
Yeah.
27-21, NC State beat Clemson.
Yes.
So 21's the output.
And they had to go to overtime. To get to. Yep, there you go.
Correct. And 19-13 over Boston College.
Right. And
one of the easiest covers in the year, by the way.
Yeah.
I may have played that big.
Yeah. But so think about it. One of the touchdowns that Clemson scored in the NC State game was in overtime. So in regulation, they scored 14 points. Dude, what are we doing up at Clemson, South Carolina?
Buddy, they play Syracuse on Friday night. It's not a Saturday game. It's a Friday night, 7 o'clock, which is when they lost to Syracuse 4 years ago, I want to say.
You know where I was? I was at the beach in Pensacola.
That's right.
Yeah, I walked into a bar. Imagine that. and I bellied up, as I'm wont to do. By the way, folks, yes, and thank you for asking. Bellying up is coming back. I promise you it is. Tom and I are not ducking you. We're just getting the equipment worked out so that we can do this from now on.
Also, we took new jobs, so we
just
got those things settled
There's
first.
been a lot going on, man, a lot going on. But we are upgrading the equipment. We're going to be able to do all this. Anyhow, the point would be, Tom, I sat down at this establishment, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And that's the game that what's his face hurt his neck. I actually was really worried. I thought he broke his neck. It was the quarterback.
Yep. Can't think of his name right now.
But anyhow, so I was watching that game, and as it got later and later in the game, I started to realize, well, I can't leave. I'm going to have to stay at the bar. Now, that's what I texted my wife. I said, honey, I cannot leave. This game is unbelievable. Luckily, we were right on the water. We had a place on the water, and so it was walking. I was walking from this place to where we were, this little bungalow we had. So I could just. She didn't have to worry about.
Yeah, you could meander.
Yeah, I could meander. Yeah. So I was like, hey, I'll be a little late. A little late to the beach party. I'm gonna stay here and watch the end of this game. And no, she understood. She understood. And me and this gentleman struck up a wonderful conversation. He too was rooting, and I would say with great gusto, much like myself, for Syracuse to win that game. And we couldn't believe what we were seeing.
Wasn't that the same bar that you ran into the weird LSU fan the next night?
I don't know if that was the same bar.
Either way, I was on South Beach that night for a wedding.
Yeah,
I was at a friend's wedding, and the next day, Florida State would play David Cutcliffe, and Duke is a noon kick.
Limp Fish.
That was when the Limp Fish decided to call a tricky play instead of just beating us straight up as he could have. We went down the field. I think Tate might have caught the touchdown to begin the game.
Yeah, and to this day, Duke still hasn't beaten us.
That's correct, and that was Cutcliffe's best chance. It wasn't last season. It was in that moment because he had us on the ropes. And he decided to get a little fancy about it.
You know who will never beat us?
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be a starting quarterback at North Carolina currently.
Oh, well.
Yeah, guess what?
Listen,
never going to happen.
What we envisioned a few years ago was that he was going to be on the field for Florida State wins, and he's been on the field for 2 of them. So he's delivered on the promise.
Yeah. I don't hate him. Whatever it is. I mean, he was committed to Walt Bell for whatever reason, and Walt ran off to UMass where he's had an abundance of success. I don't love him either because he was talked about as the second coming. He's a good college, a decent college quarterback. Yeah. Not an elite college, but he will get drafted.
Just hearing the name Walt Bell, that sounds like a town in Arkansas, doesn't it? Walt Bell, Arkansas.
That's pretty funny. Yeah,
it does.
You know, and with like a crazy backstory. You know, he was a soldier, some sort of weird backstory that single-handedly charged up a hill somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be.
It also produced Priest Holmes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like home of Priest Holmes.
Walt Bell, Arkansas. Isn't that where Priest Holmes played? It is. It is. And don't forget about Sean Taylor. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Walt Bell, Arkansas.
I would have never guessed it via Miami after. Yeah, that's
Two guys who took over the NFL. Both hail from Walt Bell, Arkansas. A decade apart. Who knew?
Oh, I'm from Arkansas. Where are you from in Arkansas? A little known town, ma'am. You probably have never heard of it. But where? I know all of Arkansas. Walt Bell. Oh, I've driven through Walt Bell, Arkansas numerous times. You've got the bird, the thing with the bird. Oh, yes, that's us. Yes.
It's in the town square.
It's a road runner. It is. Yeah. It's Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Leon County Schools is now one step closer to being in compliance with state law and Governor Ron DeSantis' mask mandate ban, but they are not in the clear just yet. District leaders now have another 48 hours to inform state leaders of the new mask rules. As Superintendent Rocky Hanna explained, we loosened the mask requirement for pre-K through 8th to move back to parental opt-out with no medical documentation required. We're also going to allow visitors back on campus to help schools with the daily functions of activities as well as mentoring. The district is now working with legal counsel to learn whether this change will meet state requirements. Leon County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing and endangered 73-year-old William Bill Garber. LCSO says Garber is 5'10" and weighs 148 pounds. He was last seen wearing a red FSU shirt and blue jeans. Garber went missing from Elwell Drive around noon Tuesday in a 2011 beige Buick Enclave bearing Florida tag Our Graham. If you have seen Mr. Garber, please call 850-606-5800. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Highs around 86 this afternoon under mainly sunny skies. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear again tonight. Lows around 67. Daytime highs approaching 88 tomorrow. A blend of clouds and sun. Upper 80s Friday and Saturday with a chance for scattered thunderstorms Saturday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 82.
Live from Tallahassee, the Holy Mother of God Greek Orthodox Church presents the Greek Food Festival. Bring the entire family. Enjoy baklava and other Greek pastries. Enjoy a complete dinner. Free admission. Come for the food and leave with the culture this Friday and Saturday, 10 to 10.
Siri, tell me a joke. The past, present, and future walk into a bar. It was tense.
All jokes aside, the trained professionals at Mac & More Systems are serious about Apple products. For all your Mac repairs, call Mac & More Systems at 894-3622. 894-3622.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Top 10 worst candies of all time. Go ahead.
All right. The first one that I had were those weird lollipops that have the circle down on the bottom rather than a stick.
Not on the list.
All right. Whorehound candy.
Don't know what. Can you even say that on the radio?
It is a thing.
Not on the list. Move on.
No.
Not on the list.
Apples with razor blades in them. Give me that ding. You know it's on there. Yep.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now.
And we're frozen. Are we even here? Can anybody hear this show? Are we just talking? We can be heard. The music isn't working. Things are falling to pieces on a Balls McWednesday.
Put me on the status bar of the song. It's like 9, 10. I'm like, no, it's not.
Okay.
You count all you want. I don't hear no sound.
You know, you got to give our compatriots at warchant.com a lot of credit. It's a tough week for content, not on Monday or Tuesday, but basically starting today, it gets tough.
Hey, man, I'm a part of that plan.
Yeah. So you guys, you planned out the Norvell, and, well, he said that he's seen great improved focus at FSU's practice this week.
Well, he was mad yesterday and he's happy today. You see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
He was mad last Wednesday, and we had one of our best games of the week. We used to play that game with Jimbo every day. You know, the interesting thing maybe at the end of the year would be, hey, Ira, since you were at every single one of the practices as the warrior that you are and the intrepid reporter that you are, how many times did the intensity level match up to the post-game or the post-practice media availability in your mind? Like, how many times? What percentage of the time? Because with Jimbo, you knew it. I had some friends who were GAs in the moment. You remember, you met a couple of them. And they said, man, we laugh because half the time, the exact opposite of the way practice went. That's how Jimbo treats his press availability.
Yeah, it's sending messages and whatever else you're trying to do there. I don't know. I would just tell you this. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. When I'm at practice, you see what you see. There have been days where we've seen practices and they've looked horrible. Half the team wasn't there. They got nothing done. They spend an inordinate amount of time on special teams. And after practice, we'll tell everybody was great. And then there have been days where I thought they looked great, played exceptionally well. They had the vast majority of their players out there. They seemed to be in a rhythm. Everybody was paying attention to detail, and Norvell was angry about the lack of intensity. I mean, now he's not always that way. I'm just saying there have been days like that. Coaches use those as opportunities to send messages to individual players, to segment groups. They can construct a narrative that they want for the week. They're doing a lot of things. There's nothing wrong with it. It does not make them liars, by the way. My son has this habit. He does this thing where if you say, for example, we'll see if on Wednesday, son, we can swing past Newberry to get you some frozen yogurt. I'm not sure that we can. We'll try. It looks like that'll be the little window of freedom that I have between work and other stuff where maybe we'll be able to go. If you do not go on Wednesday, Thursday morning while you're in the car, he'll tell you that you lied. You lied.
Oh, really?
Oh, he loves to do that.
Come on, young
man.
man.
Oh, and I crack
You're
up.
Smarter than that.
Well, of course he is. And that's why I just roll my eyes and laugh at him. But he'll be like, well, you lied. You said we were going yesterday. I did not lie. I said we were going to try. I didn't say we were definitely going, just that we were going to try.
Now, there are times when your parents growing up would say, well, we'll try. And, like, that's a no.
That's a no.
That means unbelievable. Like,
that's
1 in a million.
Thanks for pacifying, Mom. Just don't do that. Just say no. I'd rather you say no. Yeah, that's the hard part.
Because then I can go to Dad.
Yeah, well, and that's the whole thing with me. And both boys know this. That's why I don't put up with that nonsense. I'll tell you no when I mean no. And I'll tell you yes when I mean yes. And
so
yeah.
Who's the court of appeals in your house more often?
I am, actually.
They come to you for a second opinion.
They come to me for a second opinion. Yeah. Mom is the hard ass that says no to everything. And I'm the one who gets yelled at by Mom for ever saying yes after she said no.
That makes sense from earlier times. Because I remember some of the trips you used to make to the toy store. I'm like, my God.
Oh, yeah. I bought the Millennium Falcon for $380 because I'm a sucker.
Did you gave that away, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought I gave it to, who did I give it to? I gave it to somebody who wanted Star Wars. Didn't I give it to you? I thought I gave it to you.
No.
Oh, I gave it to you. That's right. I gave it to Matthew. That's right. Yeah. Do you still have it? Awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's an emphatic thumbs up from the director.
By the way, that's a kick-ass Millennium Falcon. That thing was awesome. It had all the... You know how I found that thing? Back in the now defunct Toys R Us store, which... Damn it, man.
It's just sad, man.
Oh, I know.
Even the way the store was set up with the sliding glass doors and like that weird collection area.
Oh, yeah.
It never flowed. It was always like a T, like the upside down
It
T.
had no feng shui. No, not at all.
But you were excited to go through those damn
what's
doors.
going to be around the corner? What's going to be there? Toys. Yeah.
I smell the rubber of bicycle tires.
Yeah.
What a smell.
I know. It's amazing, right? So anyhow, I went in there. I was leaving. In the early days when you have kids, you're just a sucker for the toys because they're not expensive. They're not expensive. You can get most kids' toys for like $13 or less. It's not, and you're like, oh, that's cool. Look at this guy. He karate chops and shoots stuff. So you're like, my boys will love this. Who doesn't love things that karate chop and shoot? So I'm looking at these things, and
Chuck Norris built an empire off of it.
I'm leaving the store, and I glanced up, and there's this giant. It had dust on it. It was on the highest shelf there was. Clearly, they got it in like maybe back in the 80s. And it's this Millennium Falcon. And I went, what the hell? And I'm looking. And then they don't want you to climb up to the top. They want you to get a store employee. I never do that. I feel like I can get that. I trust myself.
Wait, you climb the shelves?
I don't climb the shelves, but if there's a little ladder thing, I'll do it myself. I don't need you to come over and grab that. So then I grabbed the Millennium.
You remove the chain at the bottom of the ladder?
There was no chain. It was just sitting there leaning up against another section, and I slid it down to me, and I got up there.
There's supposed to be a chain there that restricts customers from using it.
Rollers. You slide it all the way down. Anyhow, I climbed up there. I got my Millennium Falcon, and I came down, and it was like $300 and some. I'm like, well, that seems excessive.
That's why it was on the top shelf.
But it was also, it had everything. It had the pew, 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 pew. Plus it had like and all these sounds that if you push the buttons and all that.
Yeah.
And I went, this thing's amazing. And I couldn't help it. I bought it. The kids played with it one GD time. They didn't care anything about it at all. So it didn't take me long to give it to Matthew.
So did you play with the
I did for a little bit. Yeah. Briefly.
It was in the backyard in the morning. You got
like,
Steve out there. Your neighbors are looking over the fence.
What is this guy doing?
He's lost his mind.
Lost it. This is the same man I found naked out there the other night. Now he's playing with the Millennium Falcon.
Willie Taggart has broken him.
Gilmore, again, back with us, says he thinks that we can make the ACC network a better network. Yeah, it wouldn't be hard if Tom and I were just on it. Just shoot, listen, talking about the Millennium Falcon.
Breeze.
Yeah, it would have been better. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it would be better.
But we do have our blind spots, man. We won't be there for ACC Lax Media Day. That's just not something we won't get credentialed for. That's a very exclusive event, and they won't give us creds for that.
The big one. More stats? No, not more stats. I get excited the day before. The day before Redemption Thursday, I get pumped.
Well, what's cool is we're playing football tomorrow night, man. Our professional team is.
They're going to hammer the Eagles. It's not much of a game.
But it's also going to be Game 5 of Dodgers-Giants, which probably appeals to you more than our football game does, which is kind of crazy. But Yeah, you got 2 TVs rolling tomorrow night. You got Thursday night football, a little bit of Brady, and then you got the Dodgers and Giants.
Well, and yeah, Dodgers Giants. I'm pumped about. The baseball's been really good this postseason. I can't bear the thought of the Astros going back to the World Series. So you're going to have to pull for Boston. That's all there is to it. You can't have the cheaters going back. Very impressive, by the way. So on that note, I've said more stats. Well, I'll give you some right here. This drives me nuts. But you got to give the Astros credit as I pull this up for you. Here we go. They are the 3rd team, are the Astros, Tom, in Major League Baseball history to win at least one playoff series in 5 straight seasons. Now, think about how long they've been playing baseball. 3rd team, Major League Baseball history, to win at least one playoff series in 5 consecutive seasons.
Yeah.
You know who the other 2 teams are? One of them you'll name right away.
Yankees.
Well, you got to it backwards. It is the Yankees, but did you know that who should have you said right away? The damn Braves, because they won. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they got bounced early. We're talking consecutive.
Not often.
Yeah.
They did from 95 through 99. Okay, they won. They won a series. The Yankees did it. Can you name what great Yankee era it was? Because there have been a lot since they have more money than every other team in baseball.
It would probably be. Is it 5 years in a row?
It's 5 years in a row. You had to win at least one. Only 2 prior to yesterday. Prior to the Astros punching their ticket and winning that series against the White Sox.
Wait a minute. So was it 98 to 2002?
Incorrect.
So it definitely wasn't 96 because I think 97 they must not have won a series.
Right.
Oh God. I don't know. So then it was like 1976 to 80.
No, God, no. 1949 to 1953.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
that's way harder to do because that means you're in the World Series every year.
Every year. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been impressive. That's a stretch. I would have gone back like the 27 Yankees.
Yeah.
And just been like, well surely they.
Well, there weren't wild card series and divisional rounds and things like that. You know? So that's where this is a little bit watered down compared to that Yankees team. I will give the Yankees credit for that. Way harder to do than what the Astros are doing.
But what the Astros have done is pretty impressive because they've gone past the cheating years and they've got a whole lot of FU to the rest of baseball as they continue to, there you go, Eric, go Giants indeed. I'm not going to lie. If you're ranking like what would be good for baseball, tell me how good a Houston-Boston series is and or a San Fran-Boston series. San Fran-Boston series is outstanding, but Dodgers-Boston.
Yeah.
Dodgers-Boston.
We just had one, didn't we?
Yeah, Dodgers-Boston would probably be the one.
Didn't we just have one a few years ago?
The Dodgers have lost to the Astros, which would be vitriolic if those two got back together. The Dodgers beat the Rays last year.
Right.
No, I think
they didn't lose to the Red Sox recently. That tells you how much my mind flips to other sports.
God, it does to me too. You pull up the last 10 years. I can't.
Well, while we're chewing on that, over/under Miami gives up 550 yards to North Carolina.
Miami still ranked dead last in the country in tackling. Okay, so fans debate whether or not their team, after an ugly loss, quit more than they do most things. The only thing fans do more than debate whether or not their team quit is complain about officiating. All right, so you start with officiating, and then from there you go to what's the next most common complaint. Well, a lot of play calling complaints, but I think it's usually, whether or not a team in a blowout loss quit. Fans are quick to tell everybody that somebody quit because they know that's the most damning thing you can say when there's competition involved. If there's competition involved and somebody quit, then that reflects poorly on your character, right? So I get that. And they want to say the most damning thing because they're hurt. Their heart has been pierced. But the number one way to prove that assertion is to look up tackling rates because if you're dead ass last in tackling, you have no interest to be there. You have shown that you do not care. A, you're spineless. B, you're soft. C, you don't want to be there. It's as many damning things as you can say about a football player when you're dead last in tackling. It brings my heart great joy to recite that stat that Miami, Powder Puff team, don't care to be out there. Wish they were playing flag football, that bunch. Look at them. It's amazing. That's a level of softness one seldom comes across in life. That is unbelievable.
the Dodgers in 2018 were indeed Sherman soft, as are the Miami Hurricanes in tackling in the World Series.
In 2018.
The Red Sox beat them in 5 games. Yes.
I don't know why I don't remember that win for the Red Sox. It just kind of flowed together with all the other ones that they've had in recent memory. And that was the one that was out of character. We were like, that team, what are they doing winning the World Series?
Yeah, that market's had plenty of joy. But I could understand why other markets in the country for the first time will say that about Tampa. Like, oh, good, Boston beat Tampa. They win everything.
No, it's already happened. I got it. I'm going to read you a text right now. This is from last.
Safe for air?
Well, no. I'll have to edit it. This is from a mutual dear friend of ours. So he writes to me.
What did Danny DeVito have to say? I haven't heard from Danny in a while. It's a good pal.
So this friend says, I'd be happy for your dad if the Giants won the World Series, knowing that obviously.
That's nice.
Yeah, no. And so I said, well, yeah, me too. I did tell Dad that he didn't need a 4th championship in the last decade, but sure. You're happy, but ... is what I wrote. He goes, yeah, you go from happy to, wow, again, really? That's nice. Sort of like F the Lightning is what he just wrote.
I know who that is.
Yeah. And then I wrote back, I said, give me all the hate after our 3rd straight. And he chuckled. And then his son said, there's only 2 things I like about the Lightning, those blue jerseys and Uncle Jeff, which is sweet of him to say. And I said, I love you too, kid's name, redacted. And then I said, tell him also to add speed, toughness, depth, talent, and hockey greatness. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, you know these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state government, including public health and emergency response agencies, our friends at ISF recognize September as National Preparedness Month and want to help you be safe this hurricane season. Visit ISF.com to learn more and download your emergency preparedness plan today. ISF, solving the future.
For about 50 years, Paul's Termite and Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses for thousands of people right here in the Big Bend. And we're quite proud of that. Fact is, all of us here at Paul's have families, and nothing is more important to us than their protection. By providing effective termite and pest treatments, we know we're aiding many right here in our community.
Paul's Termite and Pest Control performs many services designed for the protection of your family and your home. Programs like Pro Shield Complete, which encompasses termite and general pest control in one low-cost quarterly treatment plan. This program is environmentally friendly and is almost exclusively limited to exterior treatments, meaning pests and termites never enter your home. Termite programs like Centricon, a service which requires no invasive drilling or liquid applications. Plus, our lawn care team keeps lawns and ornamentals green and healthy.
Protection of your family, your home, and our environment all are very important to each of us at Paul's. To learn more about our many programs, please visit us at callpauls.com.
For the elimination of termites or any other pests.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Paul's. We'll get them all.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk radio show. Tune in every Sunday at 11:30 a.m., where I provide clear answers to all your questions about Medicare.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road.
regular safety training and are constantly being educated on new techniques and new materials, like becoming master metal applicators. Hey, now. Lifelong dream to be a master metal applicator. Have you considered a new metal roof before? Have you? Long-lasting, durable. You're in luck because T-Spark Enterprises Roofing and Construction are the best in town, period. Call them today, 766-1340, or get a free quote today at tsparkconstruction.com. Master metal applicator. It's a fun thing to say.
It is. Well, I can tell you that I've got T-Spark on speed dial as I'm having trees removed from my front yard today in case of emergency. I'm like, oh, I know T-Spark's got my back, but I hope I need them. We had some that were hanging over the roof, and need to make sure that those come down cleanly. But it looks like we're off to a good start. No text from the wife mid-show that say, we've got a problem. I know you've had those over the years.
Yeah, that's never good. Saw that, Panama Jack. Good job, buddy. Just left Johnson City, Tennessee this morning. He thought about me and ETSU. He is an alum of FSU, class of 2001. Time flies. It does fly, Panama Jack, because it has been 30 years, maybe more, since I was in.
You would have been class of what if you graduated on time?
If I had stayed at FSU, 93, 94.
Okay.
94. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you plan to redshirt when you went?
I was going to do whatever it took I would do whatever they asked me to do. I wasn't a good enough player to dictate terms. I was hoping to be, my biggest thing when I went there was they wanted me, it's actually quite complimentary. They recruited me, quote, as an athlete. And one of the reasons, that they did, was that I was too small. So in high school, when you play, whether you're in 5A, 6A, especially like back in the 80s, quite legitimately, you could find 200-pound tackles and 180-pound tight ends. And, at times I played at about $187, and I played some games at defensive end at $187. Like you can't, that doesn't happen anymore. Like the way that the evolution of the game, kids train year round. They didn't back then. Kids train sports specific. Also, nutrition has shifted. So the way kids prepare themselves today to be a college football player or an elite high school football player is very different. Anybody in my audience that's from the 80s knows this, right? Equipment was lacking. Education was lacking. You did squats. You did bench press. You did some deadlifts. You really, and then you played every other sport. Like I played every sport, and so did everybody else who played football. So you never focused on one thing.
Oh, I remember when LeBron first made it on TV in high school, and I thought, that dude looks like he's 30. The freaks did. Now, everybody who comes in that's a blue chipper, they all look like they're 25 or 30 years old with the way that they manage their bodies. It's crazy.
It is insane. I remember getting to Johnson City on my first visit and seeing on the wall, and I know we got to go to break, that they had an all-Southern Conference player from the 60s that was a nose tackle at 209 pounds. It was hilarious. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with.
Real Talk 93.3 wants you to win $1,000.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It's time to win some cash. And here's this hour's keyword.
Rich. R-I-C-H. Rich.
Click on the Real Talk Money Megaphone at realtalk93.com to enter the keyword for your chance to win $1,000 in this nationwide contest. Money talks. Everything else can take a walk.
Money, I just can't get enough.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. With prices surging worldwide for heating oil, natural gas, and other fuels, the U.S. government says it expects households to see jumps of up to 54% for their heating bills from last winter. The sharpest increases likely for homes that use propane, but others also likely to see big increases. Homes that use natural gas, which make up nearly half of all U.S. households, may be spending 30% more than a year ago. Senator Bernie Sanders says he won't budge on his demand for additional health benefits in Medicare as part of the Democrats' massive spending bill. Bob Agnew with that story.
Sanders has made it clear Democrats seeking to downsize a $3.5 trillion Build Back Better package will have to look elsewhere if they want his vote. Sanders says the inclusion of new benefits for vision, dental, and hearing are long overdue in Medicare. As he puts it, quote, there are millions of seniors who have rotting teeth in their mouths or are unable to hear what their grandchildren are saying. Moderate Democrat Joe Manchin says rather than spending more money for new benefits, lawmakers should take a closer look at how the program's existing budget is being spent. Bob Agnew reporting.
Also at townhall.com, the White House says the Port of Los Angeles will now become a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation to try and help ease supply chain issues.
Ports in L.A. and Long Beach, where they started operating 24/7 last month, account for 40% of all shipping containers entering the U.S. As of Monday, there were 62 ships there and another 81 waiting to dock and unload, according to the Marine Exchange of Southern California. The administration also says Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Samsung, FedEx, and UPS are all increasing their hours to move the products. I'm Julie Walker.
It's been up and down on Wall Street. The Dow is now down 2 points, but the NASDAQ is ahead 101. More at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
Where is the best place to find Michelin, Firestone, Dunlop, Goodyear, and Bridgestone tires? Nice Tire and Auto Service. Where's the best full-service auto center? Nice Tire and Auto Service. They do everything from computerized alignments to brakes, tune-ups, and safety inspections. Where can you get complete auto service you can trust? That's easy. Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Disrupted underachievement that was last year's basketball season. FSU Virginia only garnering number 4 seeds in the NCAA tournament, marking the first time since tournament seeding began in 1979 that the ACC didn't have any team seeded higher than 4. course, the ACC went 4-7 in the NCAA tournament with only FSU and Syracuse making it to the Sweet 16, while Virginia, North Carolina, and ACC tournament champ Georgia Tech were all bounced in the round of 64. Why do I bring this up? Because ACC tip-off has occurred. Yesterday, 15 ACC schools sent coaches and players to the Charlotte Marriott City Center. We've been there.
Yeah, I don't know that we've stayed at that hotel, though. We're usually at the W. So I guess they spread the love around the Charlotte area with their corporate champions at the ACC.
Nicely done. It was for the 2021 ACC basketball tip-off, previously known as Operation Basketball.
Get your ACC camo hat here.
Oh, my God.
That's the most Southeastern Conference thing they've ever done.
I know. They're trying. We sent the man, Leonard Hamilton, and veterans Anthony Polite and Malik Osborne. Expecting something more consistent and better about the season that Malik Osborne's going to have. That's a big, strong man with tools. He's got to have a more consistent presence on a nightly basis.
Well, if the basketball team had a depth chart, he was just positionless. That was the problem last year, is you had somebody who could do what they were asking him to do a little bit more consistently. So now that Turk is gone, like that's the first person I look at is Raekwon Gray. And unfortunately, he left us. But because he did, it opens up the opportunity for Malik, I think, to show all of his wares, what he can do for closer to 25 minutes a night. We'll see if that's how many minutes he actually plays, but it's a good indication if you're being sent on the jet to go talk about the program that they like you as a big part of the rotation. Yeah.
And Corey and I talked about this yesterday along with Ira on Seminole Headlines. It is stunning to think about the career progression from where he started to where we are now and what we thought then to what we think now of one Anthony Polite. I went from that kid isn't even a Division I basketball player. Why is he on this roster? To, holy hell, that guy's good. Like, in the ACC, good.
Yeah, he was our most reliable player in our final game of the season. We're like, can we just give the ball to Polite?
Yeah. Made shots, difficult ones at that. You can't leave him open. He'll defend you mercilessly. Yes, he's a player.
Yeah, he was an awkward player when he first got here.
Very awkward, as in this guy doesn't look like he can play at all.
Well, it looked like he could have, and maybe they harnessed his ability, but what I was worried about was it looked like basketball IQ just plainly wasn't there.
But it is there. It's
where
now
are the smarts?
Really, now you kind of look at him and think of him as a smart player.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Just another in the long line of development, feathers in the cap for this program. It was
coaching him up, buddy.
Not that long ago, we only talked about that in relation to post players, right? It was like Stan does a great job with this guy and then all these projects. It's across the board. It's your skill players, it's your guards, it's the post players.
Every year, baby. Every year they develop a player that takes huge leaps forward. Another indicator that this is a good coach and a great coaching staff. Coach K swan song this year. We won't have to put up with all the nasal.
You will on television.
UNC told roll it out there, Roy. We're going to need your retirement.
You think Stephen A makes money?
They've got Hubert Davis, who is a hell of a good man, and I don't mind him being the head coach at Duke. North Carolina. That's fine. I like Hubert. Roll it out there, Roy, though. He was fun. It was easy to get a win towards the end against roll it out there, Roy.
I wonder if Seth Greenberg is running for the Hills. And you got Roy as a free agent now for the desk, and he's an old grandpa figure that they can hire, put in the Digger Phelps role, right? And then you got Coach K right behind him. Jim Boeheim maybe too. Uh-oh, Seth.
Oh, you're on the hot seat and you didn't even do anything wrong.
You better get more wacky. Better start wearing polka dot suits.
So there's 680-something thousand emails that have been read through, right? And so far, they've just got Gruden. I kept hoping that they were going to get Seth Greenberg, but somehow he'd throw his name in the hat of crazy-ass, bigoted emails. I just assumed.
Because he was in the DMV area and was looking for a favor.
He just wanted to vent.
Bruce Allen, Seth.
Yeah. Well, I just want.
Let me get in on this Gruden chain.
Let's get in the fall. Let's get him in there. Throw your name in the hat. Oh, man, that's fun. So they retained Brad Frederick, added former Tar Heels player Jeff Lebo and Sean May as assistants, by the way, forcing Steve Robinson to call it a day.
Wow.
Oh, the red zone is out of basketball. Oh, it's not tough. He's got rings and money for days. Steve was a nice guy.
That's why I'm saying that.
Boring as all hell, but nice guy. I still remember my Steve Robinson interviews from back in the day.
You had to bring it?
Oh, buddy, it was tough. I was doing mornings back then, and man, everybody's already sleepy. And then they would tell me I had to have Steve Robinson on. I was like, oh no, people are going to need another espresso. This is not going to get it done. I mean, it's 6:15 and Steve Robinson's on your airwaves. Whoo, back to bed. Let's roll over and call it a day.
Should have created a bit out of it and call it your monotone moment of the day.
Oh my God. It was difficult because he was so nice. And, you know, and the other part about it was we lost all the time. So every time he came on the air, I had to talk about another ass kicking, and he would do it boringly. So that's a death knell. You're like, okay, so we just got our ass kicked again for the 20th straight time on the road. And Steve's got to talk about it really slowly and quietly. This is going to be tough. I think 3 people are listening to this interview right now, but I had to act engaged.
Millar, you're up.
Yeah, it was Huffy. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, it's just kind of cool to introduce into the larger conversation basketball, and you know, could be a wide open ACC this year. If we're looking at Florida State's returning, you know, players in the rotation, we talk about 4 guys that Anthony Polite, Malik Osborne, Raekwon Evans, and Wyatt Wilkes would be that group, right? Wyatt Wilkes, you're 9. Year 9 of the Wyatt Wilkes experiment.
He'll also be giving us by himself 2 ACC victories this year, because he'll go at least 6 for 10 from beyond the arc in those 2 games.
Yeah, a man who averages just north of 3 points a game will somehow have a 28-point night.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, he does. He does do that. Gabe wants to know here, and I'm all for just bouncing around on a Balls McWednesday. Hey, now.
Well,
should FSU go?
That's why you put the balls in Balls McWednesday.
Should FSU go after Curtis Dunlap, 6'5", 350-pound offensive guard that has put his name in the transfer portal? He was at Minnesota. Well, by all means, Gabe, I've never seen him play. I don't think. Maybe I did in the Ohio State game. I'll have to go back. But I'm sure that he's a worthy player. That is a massive player.
I can search for him now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up PFF and see what his grades are.
Tell me what Curtis Dunlap has done in his opportunity to row the boat. I want to know what he's done for row the boat up to this point. Yeah, man, that's anytime an offensive lineman puts his name in the hat, I'm like, well, you know, probably better than what we have. No, not real good.
I'm not so sure.
No, okay. The answer's going to be no, Gabe.
Yeah.
Can I guess on something?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
He's 350 pounds. Now, unless you are 6'9", 350, what are we doing here? That's awfully sizable for 6'3".
So according to PFF, his
He's
highest.
Fat. Does PFF have a fat grade?
God, no.
They should.
I can give you his grades
It
if you
just
want
says
them.
fat. Go ahead.
All right.
I want to hear the grades.
All
I want to hear the grades.
His highest pass block grade in 3 seasons for a full year
is fat.
You nailed it. How did you know?
It just says fat.
How did you know?
Yeah, okay.
44.2.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah, his highest run block grade is 64.1, but that was in 53 snaps as a freshman. Since then, 58.7 and 55.7.
Since
getting owned in the trenches in the Big Ten week in, week out.
Yeah.
Doesn't know. Against Ohio State this year, for example, his pass block grade in 53 snaps, 20 of which were pass blocking, 11.8.
You know, my guess is he ate his feelings, because here we sit at 350 plus pounds at 6'3". That's not going to get it done. Florida State's not his home.
It would appear that they reached their wits' end this most recent game against Purdue. That's his name is in the portal now. Okay, so his final performance, if he doesn't come back, he was in pass pro 9 times in 33 snaps against Purdue.
Got his ass whipped.
21.3 was the grade.
Woo! Woo hoo hoo! Not what we do. Again, they probably had extensive conversations about proper diet, sustained exercise, you name it. Some numbers for you here. I'm going to give you a team and tell you that they are 0-5 against the spread. You name that team. 0-5, and significantly 0-5 against the spread. Who you got?
North Carolina.
Clemson.
Oh, okay.
Clemson has not covered the spread. I'll give you another one. 0-6 against the spread. That sounded like a friend of ours. VIP pass.
VIP pass.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Do you have a
A super saver VIP player.
Do you know the 0-6 team?
LSU, I don't know.
Mizzou. They can't stop anybody.
Oh, yeah. All right.
If you want to bet the over any given week, I'm going to give you a 5-0 team in college football, Tom. You want to know? 5-0 team? Who you got?
A 5-0 team.
Yes.
That you hit the over on Michigan State.
To the over. Pitt.
Okay.
Oh, by like an average of 18.
Wait a minute. Pitt's not undefeated?
They're 5-0 on the over.
Oh, well.
They're playing to the over. Yeah.
Okay. I thought season record.
No. 5-0 to the over. And they score a gazillion points every week. It's crazy. And I'm going to give you another 5-0 team to the over. Western Kentucky. All right. Now, under, Tom. I gave you a chance to use the characters on a Wednesday show. There it is. There it is. Yeah. To the under, 5-0. You named a team. This is what got me thinking.
LSU.
No, to the under 5-0, Purdue. Purdue games
okay.
go
I
to
named,
the,
okay.
Yeah, you named Purdue. And the other one, 5-1-1 to the under.
5-1-1.
To the under.
I don't know. Michigan.
Fatty, fat Illinois.
All right.
There we go. That's it.
It was a close one in week one. Was that the
Fat
one that
Bielema against Nebraska in week one? Yeah. Yep.
I remember a mutual friend of ours sweating that out.
So, yeah, 5-1-1. There you go. So I just thought it would be fun. Wow. I'm looking at some of these other numbers. Folks love to sit.
We got to come up with a center for this feature, like Jeff's Tasty Nuggets.
Balls McWednesday.
Yeah.
Jeff's Tasty Nuggets. Yeah. Guys, I told you last week after the win, well, actually, I think it was on Monday of this week, how quickly we kind of meld back into that comfortable shirt that we found, that we rediscovered. It was at the bottom of our laundry. And we're like, oh, look at that. I forgot. I still have that shirt. I love that shirt. Haven't worn it in 2 years. Going to put it on. You're like, oh, it fits like a glove. That's us talking about successful Florida State football this week. I have gotten more emails, chat stuff, tweets of, can we go 7-6? Can we go 6-6? We have found our comfortable shirt. Yep. We won the game. Everybody's like, well, this feels good. I like this. This is all right.
It's spooky because I haven't worn this Buccaneers shirt in about forever. 3 or 4 months, and I found it this morning. I was like, oh my God, it's in my drawer. And it was just in a corner that Clint never go to.
Yeah.
Because I roll all the shirts up and they're like a little, they almost look like the t-shirt guns. You know, that's how we have them done. And I grabbed them like, what?
Joe.
Oh my goodness.
That's
it's
hilarious.
the old school Buck shirt.
Yeah. So I would tell you that the answer is no. We're not going to go 7-6. I do love that. But I'm just saying that fans found their Buck shirt today. They found whatever the shirt is. Like, oh, there it is. I love this shirt.
Would you change your opinion if we beat UMass and then went on the road and beat Clemson 14-13?
I don't care if we beat Clemson 3-0. Yes, I would change my opinion. At that point, you'd have 4 wins. You would have won 4 straight games, and you would have won a game against Clemson's defensive line on the road.
Well, that's because the race was to 14, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at that point, that means the defense will have played exceptionally well for several weeks in a row.
Will it have, though?
Well, if you hold
UMass and Clemson,
no, listen, we're susceptible to giving up quarterback runs because we have to play coverage on the back end, and I do believe that DJ will run around. He is 6'5", 260 pounds, and can move, and they're not having much success throwing the ball, so he's going to be a bit of a problem for us.
I think that'll be the scout that week.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be no, look, man, I mean, you've got a very good chance to beat Miami, who now is without the Eric King. He's opted for surgery. We'll see if Miami is even interested in playing college football anymore. It will be fascinating. This Saturday can tell us an awful lot because they're playing a North Carolina team who I'm not real sure is interested in playing college football right now. So quit watch matchup of the year between those two. We'll monitor Miami. Florida's still going to be interested in playing college football, and my fear is that they will have decided to do the right thing and bench Emory Jones and start Anthony Richardson, and that is not going to go well for us at all because that is a grown-ass man running around. I don't want any part of that. I know we got to play the game, so, whatever, but I'm just saying if they make that decision, problematic. So you got to find other wins. Boston College might be one, might be. It's not guaranteed by any means. And then NC State here, NC State's a better football team than Florida State. NC State should win the line of scrimmage, but it is a winnable game. It is a winnable game.
All right, so let's just say, and we can do a W's and L's for the second half of the season next week, but let's just say
I like it, yeah,
that you beat UMass. You can't beat Clemson, unfortunately. But then you bounce back and you beat NC State. Do we dare to dream? Because then you go into Miami week having won 4 of 5. Having won 4 of 5 football games. And now you're at 4 wins for the season with Miami coming into town. And you need to win 2 of your final 3 to make a bowl. I mean, could you imagine the energy? That energy would be akin to like the 2015 season or something like that at that point.
Oh, man. Yeah, listen, from where we sat at halftime of the Louisville game to where we would be in that given moment.
For Miami coming to town saying, come you're whooping. Here we go.
You might be, I mean, we may enter that stadium getting a little choked up. I mean, folks might be like, oh,
it could happen again.
I'm proud of this team. I mean, Jesus, did you see this coming? I mean, this would be.
No, I didn't, my son.
I mean, that would be amazing. But that's one of those, you know, if I could ever win the lottery and then you let yourself to go down that road, it's not quite that. I know. I know better than the dog is that bad.
There's less money involved in that. I think I'd rather win the lottery. Yeah.
But, yeah, man, dare to dream again. At least that win gave us an opportunity to dream again. At least that win gave us something to hold on to. It was, as I've said all together now, traction. We got some traction. I've been waiting on it. Woohoo! Let's see if we get some more next week against UMass. Probably do. And then what happens against Clemson? I don't know. Clemson, if you remove, what was the game? South
Carolina State.
You remove that game, they're averaging 14 points a game.
That includes playing Georgia Tech.
I'm telling you, it's crazy bad at Clemson right now. It's absurd. Dabo should apologize on a daily basis. How the hell do you have those players? And there's something like 114th in the country in offensive efficiency. I mean, if I were Tony Elliott, I would have seriously thought about taking that USF job over my boy, Jeff Scott. Like, take me. I got to get out of Dodge.
Is Georgia Tech just playing good defense?
No, because they just gave 50-plus points to Pitt last Saturday.
Okay. Well, maybe Pitt's offense is good because they only gave up 20-some to North Carolina.
Pitt's offense is one of the better offenses in the country, but 50-plus points to Pitt. Now, Jesus, come on now. What are we doing?
Again, I don't know.
I mean, it's no, man. The ACC is a mess. It's a mess. But there is undefeated Wake Forest. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
Wooden Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Wooden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Wooden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Wooden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at woodenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state government, including public health and emergency response agencies, our friends at ISF recognize September as National Preparedness Month and want to help you be safe this hurricane season. Visit ISF.com to learn more and download your emergency preparedness plan today. ISF, solving the future.
Hey guys, it's Greg Tish here. If you know me, you know how much I love to grill, smoke, and cook outside. With the holidays just right around the corner and the cooler weather, there's nothing better than a backyard fire pit or a custom outdoor kitchen. But where do you start? Well, you start at Hearth and Patio of Tallahassee. They have everything for gas grilling, charcoal, standalone grills, built-ins, custom kitchens, unique high-end fire pits, and you can even build your own pizza oven. And don't forget about maintaining your indoor fireplace. If it hasn't been used in a while, it's a good idea to have Hearth and Patio come take a look at it to make sure it's safe to use. Or you can replace the whole thing and transform the look and style of your room. If it has anything to do with fire, you need to call Hearth and Patio. Write this number down. It's 727-4282. That's 727-4282. Or you can always check out their website to view all their products and services at hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
Hi, it's Chris Kraft. If you want luxury that speaks to you, if you want a car that exudes class, then come into Infinity of Tallahassee and reserve your very own all-new 2022 QX60. It's sleek and it's sexy, where state-of-the-art meets real life. Pitch and slide second-row seats offer easy access to the third row or cargo, even when a child seat is involved. Google it. You'll see. That's real life, and that's the all-new Infinity QX60. Come get yours. Infinity of Tallahassee, next to Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Real talk fact number 44. Banging your head against the wall for 1 hour burns 150 calories. This is Real Talk 93.3, Tallahassee's Real Talk station. The Jeff Cameron Show is
a 40-year anniversary box set, 106 songs just came out for Sorry Ma, Forgot to Take Out the Trash. Unbelievable. 106 songs, including the earliest known recordings of the Replacements in a Minneapolis basement of Paul Westerberg's friend's house. That's crazy.
So did you get it?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
But yeah, that's amazing.
Don't try me with a stupid question like that. Hell's wrong with you?
This is what you do not do. And this is what Mike Norvell, and I know we're going to give away a Wicked here in a minute. Our friends from Which, whom we love. Their sandwiches are delicious. I love them. I love a good Which sandwich. And yeah, so do my kids. That said, before we do all that, Tom, this is exactly what you do not do. And this is what Mike Norvell, and why Mike Norvell has preseason college football meetings with the media, in which he's very cordial and serves us all lunch himself. He's there. Sir, would you like some more tea?
It's the giant apron on.
Yeah, the whole deal. So we go to lunch over there every year before the start of the season.
You got 20 seconds to eat.
Oh, man, that's me before we travel any great distance, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's go!
You can see him in the athletes' dining hall.
Yeah,
doing that.
Yeah, you could.
Here we go!
Here it is. So at my household, before we travel anywhere, and that, of course, Dad has to drive. That's me. And let's say it's a 6-hour jaunt. Normally it's not, because anything over 4 hours, we're going to fly. That said, I tell my kids, look now, it's just 4 hours. You pee right here and now, or forever hold your peace. Let's go.
Well, technically in there.
Yeah, but you get that, not here on the floor. So Mike tells everybody, here's the deal. I grant you all the access one could ever want, and that's great. Do not screw me. Now, he doesn't say it quite like that, but I'm just saving us all time. That's what he's telling you. Don't report on certain offensive packages and certain defensive schemes. Do not report on injuries. Do not talk about who's running with the first team and the second team. Just general practice observations, and you're free to watch all you want so that you have context for any opinion you got to give or piece you got to write. Great. I really, really do appreciate that.
Yeah. The Mike Famey golden rule. Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. That's a great rule. Well, somebody was stupid. This, according to Reddit College Football, a reporter for the OU student newspaper used binoculars from a public building to report that Caleb Williams was participating in practice for the first team.
Oh, no.
He got quotes from Spencer Rattler's dad. In addition, Lincoln Riley announced today all media availabilities are gone.
Oh,
man.
You know, what's funny?
The rest of that beat is like, you son of a... I mean, they're going to beat him half to death. It's going to be Full Metal Jacket with the soap.
Isn't that that's the code red in A Few Good Men, isn't it? Or is it both? Is that both?
Yeah, it happens in both. No, but in Full Metal
they
Jacket,
didn't beat him with the soap in A Few Good Men.
No, yeah,
they duct taped him.
They duct taped him. In Full Metal Jacket, they put it in a pillowcase and they beat him senselessly while he weeps. And then they all get back in their bunks, and it's the saddest thing in the world because Fat Ass is sitting there crying, and they're all trying to sleep, and you hear him go, ooh, 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 ooh. It's awful. Yeah, it's a toughie.
Yeah, that's not funny at all compared to the image that you were just going for.
Yeah. So now this here is but that's that poor reporter. I say that poor reporter, he's an idiot. The soap treatment could be coming. I mean, come on, man. You just caused us to have no access for the entire second half of the season in all likelihood.
I don't think Mike would do that, though.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think so, because it's on us to out the people that are abusing the privileges.
Correct.
That's what they told us. To everybody. It's not like to Warchant. Make sure that you keep an eye on everybody. No, it's to everybody.
That sucks. We got to be the one to tell them.
We're the mother hen?
Yeah.
Well, you got 94 people on staff.
What you doing over there, knee?
He'd be like, mind your own damn business, Cameron.
That'd be great.
No, but I don't think he'd kick everybody out because some rogue was like in Burt Reynolds' Hall or on the roof there.
I do think it's funny that
on a Thursday.
Yeah. But my man not only got up there and did that, then he got Spencer Rattler's dad on the record. So let's just make this as toxic as possible.
That dude chose violence when he woke up in the morning.
Yeah, he was mad.
There's malice involved in that.
Clearly, he was mad.
That's more than trying to get the scoop.
He
must be a Spencer Rattler fan. Maybe that's what it is.
Or not an OU fan, because, I mean, if you're an OU fan, you don't want to do that. You want them
Mr.
to move
Rattler,
on.
not playing your son.
He's still not in there with the first team. Spencer Rattler's dad would be like, I know, I watched the game. They benched him in the game, dumbass. I saw it. Yeah.
You know, he calls me, fairly frequently. And he told me, Dad, I didn't get rep for the ones today. You don't think I speak to my son?
I know.
End quote.
Yeah. The moment that they made the decision to sit Spencer, that's got to be startling, arresting if you're him, given that you were the preseason odds-on favorite to win the Heisman, and we've reached week 6, and you are now officially benched. But all the more because he got benched in favor of a freshman. I mean, damn, man. They had to have been fed up in a way that probably exceeds anything I can recall, right? I mean, I don't remember a Heisman favorite being told to have a seat 5 or 6 games into the season.
Well, what's interesting about that is efficiency-wise, he played very well. If you're just looking at the numbers by themselves, and you're not attributing them to a Lincoln Riley offense. Now, when you weigh them against Lincoln, typical output, you're like, ooh, that's really not lighting up the scoreboard.
Well,
but I mean, he's completing like 72% of his passes, a touchdown to interception ratio.
But we know when you watch the games, right, you can have, that's where these efficiency numbers and where we talk about analytics and we talk about snapshots, glimpses, information, putting it all together. No one thing gives you the clearest picture. You can be very efficient if you're a check down Charlie.
Yeah.
But if they've schemed up touchdowns all over the place and you refuse to throw the ball and you instead hit the back out of the backfield for 4, we're about done here.
Yeah, that was the alarming Justin Fields performance against Indiana last year, where Ryan Day they cut to him on the sidelines 2 or 3 times, and he's losing his mind because he's like, Justin, I mean, baby, we worked on this. This is over the top.
Yeah, this is a touchdown.
There ain't nobody there.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, throw it. Let it go. Let it go.
Cut it loose. Yeah.
But, it's weird, though, and usually if a guy has a lot of talent, and Justin Fields does, you ride it out because you have other elements of your team that'll carry the day and hope that he comes out the other side confident. And in doing that, they were rewarded because that game against Clemson was unreal. I mean, he ended up making himself gobs of cash because of that game. I mean, he was sensational from the pocket, putting people, throwing guys open,
playing through bodily harm,
on broken ribs. I mean, that was something. So anyhow, that's funny, by the way. Burt Reynolds Hall's name was recently changed to Turd Ferguson Hall. That is so well done.
That's an SNL reference.
Yes.
Nobody get mad.
It's a great,
the sacred Burt Reynolds. It's a joke from SNL.
It's a great SNL reference and Norm Macdonald. So yes, I think even in watching, you watch that Texas-Oklahoma game, that first half, it's 28-7 for a reason. I mean, that kid is rat trapping a little bit.
Yeah.
He's not taking what's there. He looks completely out of sorts. The fumble was a big deal.
It also tells you how light the Heisman campaign was this year, or the slate of players, that he's going to be the preseason favorite. Because I even heard when I was prepping for the Syracuse game and I watched the Liberty-Syracuse matchup that Mel Kiper rated Liberty's quarterback as the number 3 quarterback on his big board in the preseason.
Wait, who's number 3?
Liberty's quarterback.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Was number 3, according to Kiper. And in watching that game, that kid does not believe the middle of the field exists. He's got a cannon, but that's enough to be the number 3 quarterback in the country. That tells me that the crop this year is bad. And also, if Rattler is your preseason Heisman, that tells me that the crop of player is bad.
Talked about the Heisman and there not being a clear-cut set of rules and definitions. This sort of ambiguous in a team sport, the best player award is really difficult to come by. And for years, I've thought it was fairly ridiculous, especially since it seems to have been whittled down to about 2 types of players. One, they've got to be on a real good team, period. And 2, they've got to play either quarterback, running back, or wide receiver. It's one of those 3 things. Like, you're not going to see a tight end, a defensive end, a middle linebacker, a left tackle. They don't win it. They don't win it. And in theory, they could very well be the most dominant player at their position in all the country and could be a guy that teams have to game plan around more than any other player in the country, and they still can't win it because they don't play the right position for the right team. And that's just silly. So, yes, and it isn't a great in my mind, it's certainly not an easy thing to do, to come up with, and it's also not it's not an award I care about. Other than when our guys win it. I mean, when we win it, it's great because it's prestigious for the university because of the name that it carries and because you end up, obviously, there's marketing that goes with all of this. But in truth, I don't really value it. I mean, we've seen some pretty bad players win that award because they played on really good teams.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, not integral players. Like, yes, the year Larry Fitz didn't win it, I thought, my God, who's more important to their team than Larry freaking Fitzgerald? And then Ndamukong Suh, he was close to being a winner as a defensive player. I remember I would tune in Nebraska football because I wanted to watch Ndamukong Suh. You know how hard it was to find Nebraska football in 2008 to 2010? Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's I go all the way back. Dan Morgan was a linebacker at Miami, and he was a transcendently good football player, and I hate Miami. And I was still sitting here going, yeah, may give that guy my Heisman vote. I mean, he was a freak. And, of course, my guy, Marvin Jones. Sure. Marvin Jones should win the Heisman. He was unreal. Let's give away that sandwich. Let's do it. Let's make sure our friends get that which sandwich. It's a Wicked Wednesday here. You don't want to use it on this day because this day it's only $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5. Tallahassee listeners and viewers only. Your cue to call is right now. Caller 2, Tom, number quick.
386-TALK. 386-8255. 386-8255.
That's right. You're getting yourself a free Wicked. Let's make it happen, everybody. Caller 2 wins the sandwich.
Your local news now.
The Florida Department of Health is fining Leon County a total of $3.57 million for violating the state's ban on COVID-19 vaccine passports. According to DOH's notice of violation, the county is facing 714 counts for requiring employees to provide proof of vaccination against the coronavirus. The email from the governor's office also says the county fired 14 employees for not complying with its vaccine requirement. The statute Leon County violated says government entities cannot require that a person show any documentation proving that they've received the coronavirus vaccine or recovered from the virus in order to enter its buildings or receive services from it. Under the statute and state's COVID rules, DOH is able to issue a $5,000 fine per person who is asked to show proof of vaccination. Leon County first required its employees to become fully vaccinated against COVID-19 on July 28th with a deadline of October 1st. DOH says Leon County has 30 days to pay the fine. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Highs around 86 this afternoon under mainly sunny skies, northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear again tonight, lows around 67. Daytime highs approaching 88 tomorrow, a blend of clouds and sun. Upper 80s Friday and Saturday with a chance for scattered thunderstorms Saturday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 83.
This is Kyle, service manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service program with guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Patterson High School participating in one of the first programs for high schoolers to be truck drivers. They talked to one of the participants getting a hands-on lesson in truck maintenance and safeties.
I don't know, man. With as many different issues and problems as you have with young drivers out on the road.
They're not the ones in the semis, though.
Are they going to, like, jack up two front tires and then lower the ones in the back?
That's the what-color truck.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness.
It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Great to be with you. Hope you're well. Did you read the hardest jobs in college football piece in The Athletic today, guys? No, you didn't? Okay, let me help you out here. And here's why it's great. Because one of the teams on this, now obviously, like teams like Vanderbilt are on this list. Tough to win at Vanderbilt. Kansas is on this list, as you might expect. Sadly, Nebraska is on this list.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, tough to win there these days. Texas, interestingly enough, is on this list. And a Power 5 administrator in this case said about that, a lot of political aspects to that job and they have nothing to do with football, and that makes it very difficult. It takes a very skilled person to be the head coach at Texas to handle all the juggling that goes on behind the scenes. That feels an awful lot like Tom, the guy that walks into Jimbo's office with his boots and puts them on the desk and talks.
Oh, that guy exists.
Yeah, that guy exists,
especially in Texas.
Yeah,
across the universities.
Yeah, and then another administrator said, "Well, about Texas." They have unrealistic expectations every year. They have a delusional fan base, but they do have money. I thought that was good. Washington State, and my favorite, again, anonymous source here, a Power 5 assistant coach says, yeah, they're in the middle of nowhere. They don't have good facilities. If you've ever been to Pullman, then you realize. That's rich. That's like, have you ever been to Pullman? Yeah, it's a toughie.
Well, excuse me, Coach. Have you ever been to Walt Bell, Arkansas?
With the bird. So, by the way, why did I bring any of this up? Here you go. Miami was on the list. Quote, Miami should be better than they are from the outside looking in, but it doesn't look like they've invested in their football program to give them a chance. That, according to a Power 5 athletic director. They cite a lack of nutrition and strength staff, academic support compared to powers like Alabama and Clemson. A group of 5 assistant agreed and pointed out the team's spotty fan base as well. Miami's hard. There are no resources there. There are big expectations while playing at the U, but you're also playing in front of nobody. The team plays at Pro Player Stadium 45 minutes from the team plays at a pro stadium 45 minutes from their campus.
Well, it was Pro Player.
Yeah. Makes their attendance difficult when the Canes aren't dominant, and given the stadium a significant disadvantage without a student section, the rowdiest portion of any crowd. Multiple respondents to the survey also cited poor facilities throughout Miami that raised the degree of difficulty in recruiting, even when there is so much local talent. Other programs just come in and raid the area's top prospects.
Well, that's true. It's been happening to us too.
That's such a good. I'm glad that was there on a Balls McWednesday. Just fun for us to all read together.
Well, it's also good, just in case maybe somebody's parent is subscribed to the Athletic,
Yeah,
and it's is Florida State on this list?
They're not. You know who is on this list? Oh, Tom, you know what a good day it was for me this morning when I got oh, buddy, shake a big dude, get old Rocky Top.
There's close points these days. There you go.
Yeah, there they are.
Yep.
They're right there.
Yep.
Tennessee hasn't played for an SEC title since 2007. Hasn't won one since 1998.
Didn't even realize that they played for one in 2007. I was in college. They went
14 years ago, Tom.
Who the hell did they play? Auburn? I have to look that up.
They haven't won one since 98, so whoever they played beat them.
It might have been LSU, probably.
They've had 5 head coaches since Phil Fulmer's ouster in 2008. They have outsized expectations and access to talent, with the most frequent reasons for including Tennessee on this list. Not much in-state talent compared to a lot of other SEC schools, but sky-high expectations from controlling donors. The state of Tennessee's talent is improving, in part because of Nashville's booming population. But it's not possible to field a high-level SEC program in Tennessee on in-state talent. Tennessee was great because Clemson wasn't around. North Carolina didn't matter. Those great Tennessee teams and players came from out of those areas, not Tennessee, said one Group of 5 assistant. Fan expectations also make life difficult and coaching stays short, but that isn't just in Tennessee, one agent said. So there you go. That agent, I think we know. He's the same agent that hires everybody else.
Indeed, it was LSU. I'm assuming that would be the Jamarcus Russell team. So they haven't played in an SEC title game since Jamarcus Russell was a quarterback. And LSU beat Tennessee that day, 21-14.
Great game.
Eric Ainge threw 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter.
Tough day for Eric Ainge. Yeah, the Vols have frequently been a subject matter on the Jeff Cameron Show over the years. And I know that people think I hate him. I don't. I just like to point out certain numbers.
Wrong again. You know who was the MVP of the game? Quarterback for LSU, Ryan Perrilloux.
Ooh,
Ryan Perrilloux.
Later almost put it on us.
That's right.
Yes.
From State, who finished the job years later.
Yes.
We have to add that postscript now. Isn't that terrible?
It's unfortunate.
That JSU delivered on the promise of Ryan Perrilloux almost 15 years later.
That said, at least, my friend, we didn't have to lose to Duke during these down times. Miami has. That's turned into a great rivalry. But we have not lost to Duke at any point.
And Miami got lucky to beat Duke with that.
Frequently.
Yeah. Remember that
the
4 penalty play?
Yeah.
They made t-shirt out of it to celebrate it.
Yeah, one clip after the next. Yes. Yeah, we're all that stuff. And a forward lateral mixed in there to boot. Yeah, there were a lot of things that happened. On that day, officials decided, you make the call. We're just going to stay pat. You make the call.
It's funny, as I saw, it might have been the record-breaking return. If you follow enough NFL accounts, then you get these throwback videos that are like promoted videos that are okay. Sometimes the promotion things you see on social are ridiculous. But it was a Dante Hall punt return for a touchdown that was a record breaker. And it had to have been like a 90 to 92 yard return. There is the most obvious, blatant, flag-worthy block in the back I've ever seen in my life that begins as he catches the ball.
Catches the ball, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, were they just only somewhat flagged 15 years ago? Have I been conditioned?
Oh, no,
there's a flag on every play now?
Oh, no, we owned blocks in the back at Florida State for 30 years. We were the masters. I mean, even though we had some big plays, like going back to Tamarick Vanover when I was in school and all that, I mean, we had big plays, but frequently called back due to blocks in the back. And it was always the simplest of things. You'd always be like, if you can see their numbers or their nameplate, don't hit them.
Right.
It's not hard.
You remember my story? I talked to a former FSU player about that one time. I was like, why are blocking the back so common? He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, what you just said. If you see their numbers, why would you put your hands on them?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, yeah, that's a good point. I'm like, what?
Oh,
you got to be kidding me.
No, that's been.
What are we teaching at every level of the sport?
No, it
should not be good points. It should be, I know.
Well, I would have rather heard a kid say, it's just so tempting to spear somebody from behind.
That's, you know what? There you go.
You could just knock the bejesus out of somebody. It's so much fun.
We're going to score anyway. We're Florida State, okay. You know, I just want to take this kid out. He's mouthing off in pregame. Understandable.
Okay, you got it. We'll come back and we'll look on the mound. That's what we'll do. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
1/3 of Americans over the age of 55 have less than $25,000 in savings heading into retirement, and 34% have no savings at all. Maximizing your Social Security benefits is going to be a significant part of planning for the road ahead. If this sounds like you, or maybe even a loved one, give me a call. I can help. I'm Craig Collins with Collins Income Tax Solutions, and I'm offering free consultations to anyone looking to learn how to maximize their Social Security benefits. You can find me online at collinsincometexsolutionsllc.com.
Live from Tallahassee, the Holy Mother of God Greek Orthodox Church presents the Greek Food Festival. Bring the entire family. Enjoy baklava and other Greek pastries. Enjoy a complete dinner. Free admission. Come for the food and leave with the culture this Friday and Saturday, 10 to 10.
When some slithery, slimy something shows up uninvited in my home, I want it gone. Now. Not next Tuesday, not tomorrow. Today. Pretty sure I'm not sleeping knowing that thing is crawling around in my house. That's why I call Paul's Termite and Pest Control. Here in Tallahassee, Paul's guarantees same-day service if I call before 1. Ants, roaches, mice, wasps, fleas, whatever it is, Paul's responds with guaranteed same-day service. Pretty sure I've never heard that from any other pest company. Guess that's an advantage to being a locally owned and operated company like Paul's Termite and Pest Control. They're here and make things happen fast.
We at Paul's know when you have some pest or rodent in your home, you want it out now. That's why in Tallahassee, we guarantee same-day service. You call us before 1, we'll be there before 5, guaranteed. That's our commitment to you. The health and protection of North Florida friends and neighbors is the reason we love our jobs.
For the elimination of termites or any other pests.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Paul's. We'll get them all. Learn more at callpauls.com.
What's important when shopping at a gun store? Let's start with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Then add top-notch service, great selection and pricing, and a personal shopping experience only found at a locally owned and operated business. And Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
Is your roof suffering from leaks? Our team is ready to investigate and repair your roof leaks.
Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. Call 850-766-1340.
License number CCC 133-1204.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
Do you know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
About that as well, but it is being worked on currently. Appreciate you guys on Warchant TV. Appreciate you guys on terrestrial radio with my friends here at 93.3 Real Talk Radio. No games tonight, right? Dodgers and Giants tomorrow. Let's do this. Probables, we'll look ahead to a couple different days, as brought to you by our friends at North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com. Tommy?
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Nada today, but tomorrow, Julio Urias goes for the Dodgers, and Logan Webb, who was having none of it in his last outing, he'll start for the Giants. You know, this is what you wished for. Before the series started, we said, give me a 5-game war. These two teams both were incredible. over the course of the regular season. That division was amazing. By the way, on a Friday, as you get set to sink into the weekend and think about college and pro football and all that good stuff, 8 o'clock at night, game number 1 between the Red Sox and the Astros on Friday night, 8 o'clock. What are the Friday night games for football? Did you tell me?
Clemson, Syracuse.
That's why I knew it mattered.
It's a whole lot of orange.
Doesn't feel right, does it? Doesn't feel like that should be a, I don't know. The winner of the Dodgers and San Francisco will be taking on the Braves Saturday. TBS has that game, so obviously that'll be to be determined for the starters because we don't know who's in the damn game other than the Braves. Little Saturday baseball to go along with the slate of football on that day, and that's exciting, and that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump in the coming days. So you know what I did? I bought something. It was an impulse buy. It's pretty rare that impulse buys, especially if they're little kind of gimmicky things that you find on like Instagram or whatever, you know, these ads that pop up. It's pretty rare that they work out. This worked out swimmingly. I highly recommend it. Have you ever seen the thing? It comes from China, Tom, where you get I don't know. You get these power scrub brushes that latch on to your drill. Have you seen this before? So an easier way to clean like a stove or a bathtub or a bathroom. They give you really hardcore bristles. You got a circular one. You got a flat surface one. You've got little ones for the nooks and crannies in the corners and all that. And it comes with a drill bit connected to it, and you attach it to your drill. And there's none of that hand scrubbing nonsense. You go in there, water and vinegar, whatever you want to use to clean. And it's fun as hell. You go to work on it. I did it over the weekend. It was awesome. I loved it.
Sounds like the Razorbacks sound, first down Razorbacks.
Speaking of which, I'm going to get to that in a moment too. No, so this was awesome. I did use it in the master bathroom. I opened up the window. I cranked some music. I grabbed an ice cold beer, took off my shirt, put on some goggles, and went to war. It was incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, just it was the drill. It's so much fun. It makes cleaning something you want to do.
Now that sounded not like a Razorback, but like the Buccaneers offense.
Yes, just cruising. I wanted the opportunity. I thought, this is ideal. Now I want to clean everything. I'm like, show me something. I'll put the drill to it. It's unbelievable. Just everywhere you go. It's unbelievable.
Sound like Wilt Chamberlain.
I know. Thousands. So what I tell you is if you see that little ad for the drill bit scrubbers, you go ahead and pull the trigger on that.
There was an ad that I saw
weeks to get here
on the gram that the inner kid in me really wanted because I was the kid who had like the stars, the glow in the dark stars.
Right. Both my boys have that.
Yeah.
I put them on.
So we had a bunk bed in my room. Had the little flat surface. So the bunk, it would light up your bunk.
Oh,
it was really cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen those like galaxy lights?
Yeah.
Those are cool.
You should get them.
They're not cheap. I'm like,
I
use it one time.
I want galaxy lamps for a special Saturday where you're just like, all right.
It's like you're going to the planetarium.
Yeah.
One thing we do have, I don't know if with Christy or not, I wouldn't accuse you because it's a hair down the drain problem. I don't know if you have that issue in your house.
Well, Christy's got a lot of hair, so yes, sometimes.
There are these things that you could put in the drain.
Yeah, and you just pull it out. And see that. I want you to order that.
In the last 6 months, yes, it has changed everything.
You did buy one.
Yes.
And you got it, and it works.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Through a mutual friend of ours recommended on the golf trip, and it was great.
We're 2 for 2 with these little gimmicky things that we're finding on the Instagram. All right.
Well, that was a friend recommendation, but I thought it was like something it has seen on TV.
Yeah, seen on TV. Yeah, no, it works great. Good job, Matthew. Good job, Tom. Thanks to all of you. Appreciate it. Be well. Have a good rest of your Balls McWednesday. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on a Redemption Thursday.